What's going on YouTube? How's it going? This is a video about chaos and order, inspired by a conversation with a friend of mine, and it came about out of a tarot reading that's being done, and they said, I really like to kind of control stuff, but I also like to be spontaneous. And those two things don't really work, do they? And I was like, yeah, they do. They really do. So this video is for you if you like to exercise a bit of order and control in your life, and you also like to be spontaneous. And it's really simple. So if we arrange and prepare the kind of things we have to do, so very often I will make a video and I'll schedule it for a few days time, because I know that I may be away or doing something else. So rather than try and fit that in the midst of doing something else, I'll do that when I've got some free time and I'm in the mood. So that's prepared, it's pre-done, so I can just schedule it, bang. And that's really served me well over the past few weeks, because I've been off doing random things. So like this video will go up 2 or 3 days after it's been recorded. So it's all good. Now, the Greek word for order is cosmos, and chaos is a lack of order, it would seem. But actually chaos is it can be just an intensification of order. So when we prepare, what we're actually doing is intensifying our focus on getting things ordered, so that when we can then just go off and be spontaneous. Okay, which in itself appears to be chaos to your order, but it's not. It's just you being more you being more in the moment, flowing with what comes to you, and just being. Alright, which is in itself the ultimate order. So that, just think about it. So the analogy that I always use when I kind of teach this idea is, just imagine you're at a huge train station, like you're at Grand Central or you're at Waterloo, and so imagine you've got the arrivals and departures boards there before you. Just imagine you can sit in a place where you can look down and see all the people milling about, and it seems to be very random, it seems chaotic, but each of those people is going to or coming from a particular place, going to, coming from, going to a particular place. There's great order. Now just imagine that something happened and a load of platform changes occurred and timetables were rearranged, and you would see what looks like an intensification of chaos, but actually it's an intensification of order. So you may look at somebody else doing something. For instance, if you look at a dancer doing like interpretive dance, or a martial artist going through their kata or form, and it might look to you like chaos, but it's perfect order, and they're flowing through a series of movements which have been preordained, prearranged, pre-planned and learned. Now this leads us into an interesting area, because how much of what we do is preordained? Now I don't mean that in a kind of religious context. I mean how much of what we do, or a spiritual context even, I mean how much of what we do are we aware of that we're doing for ourselves, and how much do we do because we believe other people will like us more for it, or will treat us better for it, or won't notice us if we act like that. How much are we allowing ourselves to be spontaneous? So I just found this and I like it, so I put it on, and my ego's fully aware that some people might go, why are you wearing a smiley face bandana? Why not? is my answer. Why not? I am quite partial to a head covering, a hat. I love it. On Mondays I go to yoga, and it's in the Sikh temple. So great place to do yoga. If you are in the Southampton area on a Monday night and you want to come and get really energised and a little bit screwed up because it's hardcore, come to the Sikh temple. You can't miss it. It's in Beavers Valley. It's got a big gold dome on it. You can see it for miles. 6 o'clock until 7:30 with my friend and yogi Sharon. She is an amazing yoga teacher. Anyway, there you go. Random plug. So this is just it. What looks like chaos is actually someone's order. How much do you stop yourself wearing a smiley face bandana or that wonderful bit of... Years ago, the very first time, I think I was about 18, 19, I went to London, I went to Carnaby Street, and I bought this incredible metallic blue frock coat. So it's like longer than a normal jacket, right? Sort of comes down to about mid-calf, well, mid-thigh. But it was metallic blue paisley. And this thing was like out of this world. And I wore it in London because nobody knew me. And people were looking and they were like, wow, man, that's a really cool jacket. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And I got on the train to come back to where I lived and I took it off. Because I knew I'd see people that I knew and they would laugh at me. And that jacket stayed in my wardrobe for about a year. Until one day I thought, you know what? I don't care. How many items of clothing have you got like that? How many ideas have you got that you never share for fear of being ridiculed or being laughed at or being called out? So actually being spontaneous is great. Planning to be spontaneous, it's not really being spontaneous, but taking care of all the things that need to happen to free up your time and energy to be spontaneous is immense. That's the way to do it. That's the way to balance order and chaos. Cosmos and chaos. Which we decided, my friend and I, would be two great names for a couple of cats. Or kids. Anyway, no cats, no kids today. But who knows? I'll see you all later, friends. Thanks for hanging out and enjoy the chaos.